Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, guys. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Am I audible and visible, guys? Good afternoon, Govinda, Ram Babu. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, guys. Am I audible and visible? Hello, Bhargav. What's up? Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon. Hello, Rahman. Hello, Sudeshna. Good afternoon. Hello, Yogi. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, guys. So, I hope you are doing well. Prepared for tomorrow's exam. So, tomorrow we have an exam. So, animal tissue topic will be there. So, every line you have to read clearly. All the NCERT lines should be absolutely clear. Okay. Now, a very small topic is pending. I think the last class we completed the cartilage topic, right? In the last class we completed cartilage. Today we are going to talk about bone. Yes. So let us discuss about bone topic. Come on. So today we have to discuss bone. Shall we start, everyone? Ready? Let us start. Discuss bone, small topic. In NCERT, very limited data is given. In NCERT, very limited data is given. Little bit more understanding is required to understand the bone tissue. So talking about bone, what is a bone? Bone is basically, we say it is a specialized, skeletal connective tissue. Yep, it is a specialized skeletal connective tissue. Yes or no, guys? And it is very important for our body. Your whole structural framework, the whole structural framework of the body is made by bone and cartilage. So bone plays a very important role in that. Now talking about bone, bone is a very hard, non-flexible tissue, I will say. Do you agree? It is hard and non-flexible tissue. Can we say it is pliable? Can we say it is pliable? Is it able to bend? Can we say that? Is it bendable tissue? No. We cannot say it is a bendable tissue. It is a non-pliable tissue. Okay? And it is made up of what? It is made up of what? Let us see what are the components of the bone. So talking about bone, bone is made up of what? Bone is made up of fibers. Bone is made up of matrix, and bone is also made up of some cells. You can see Vladimir 355 on 360 in bio. Which exam you are talking about? Which exam you are talking about, Vladimir 355? Very good marks. Just let me know. Are you talking about the re-NEET paper? Okay. It is made up of fibers, matrix, and cells. Talking about fibers, it consists of the collagen fibers, which gives the strength. Matrix is basically made up of ossin protein. Yes. Along with that, there are some mucopolysaccharides present. Correct? And matrix, you can further say it is divided in two parts. It is inorganic content is there. Basically, the calcium salts, we can say the calcium salts are there, majorly calcium phosphate and calcium carbonate, etc., etc., etc. Other salts are also there. Majorly it is calcium phosphate salt. Majority it is calcium phosphate salt. Okay. And then other than inorganic content, we have organic content also. Like osin is the organic content. Osin is the organic matter. Mucopolysaccharides are also organic matter. Collagen fiber is also organic matter. So we can say that in bone we can say roughly 70% inorganic salts are there, and majorly there is calcium phosphate. Whereas 30% I can say, 30 to 40% I can say roughly there is the organic matter, and in this organic matter we will say there is osin matrix, there are the other mucopolysaccharides present. In this we can say collagen fiber is also there. So that makes your 30% organic content. Sujani, in that syllabus they have mentioned only dense connective tissue, but we have to study till bone. We have to study till bone. So whatever I am teaching you, cartilage, bone also we have to study. Am I clear? In the syllabus they have mentioned dense, so again I will give the clarity. Study the whole connective tissue. In fact, the whole animal tissue. Epithelial, introduction part is there, very important. Then we are studying epithelial, junctions, and then connective. In connective you will study till bone. And after bone, I think there are given 2-3 lines about the blood, that is a fluid connective tissue. That 1 or 2 lines, you can read that as well. So cartilage and bone is there, please understand. So bone, you can see majority is 70% inorganic salt, especially calcium phosphate salt, calcium carbonate. So bone becomes very hard, very dense, okay, and due to which it is non-flexible, non-pliable, cannot be able to bend. Am I clear? And it has to be like that, because bone bears your body weight. So you don't want the bone to be very soft. You want it to be very hard so that it can bear your body weight. So that's why bone is very dense or hard, we can say. It is hard basically due to 70% inorganic salts. Now talking about the cells. Tell me what are the cells? Tell me which are the cells? We have the osteoblast cell. We have the osteoblast cell and we have the osteocyte cells. They both are called as bone forming cells. Yes, they help in the growth and formation of the bone tissue. They help in what? They help in growth and formation of bone. Growth and formation of bone. Sometime you might have heard this cell also, which is called as osteoclast cell. What it is called? An osteoclast. So osteoblast is a young cell. A young cell is an osteoblast. As it matures, it becomes osteocyte. And they are helping in growth and formation of bone. So whatever this matrix, osin, protein and all is there, this is deposited by osteoblast. Mature cells are called as the osteocyte. Whereas osteoclast, we can say it is the bone resorption cell. What it is helping in? Bone resorption cell. So see, whenever the bone tissue, bone is being formed, At some places you need deposition of bone formation. At some places something is excess, you need to remove it out. So for deposition, you will require osteoblast and osteocyte. For removal of the bone tissue, to remodel it, you need some removal. It behaves like a macrophage. Osteoclast has a macrophagic activity. It kind of resorbs the bone tissue and helps in remodeling. So if, let's say, I get a fracture of a hand and the two ends are connected to each other and then we put up the plaster, then the osteoblast and osteocyte are going to help to make the bone join together. New bone tissue will be formed. But then at the same time, the bone should be leveled up properly. There should not be excess bone deposit near the bone, wherever part it is broken. You don't want the excess bone tissue. That has to be removed by the osteoclast cell. And if you want little more information, you have studied chemical coordination chapter. You know two hormones which are responsible for the calcium metabolism, the thyrocalcitonin hormone and the parathyroid hormone. So whenever you have excess calcium in your blood, hypercalcemia, you want to deposit, like if you get excess money, you will store in the bank, right? So similarly, when you get excess calcium, in your blood, that excess calcium gets deposited in your bone with the help of thyrocalcitonin. And when you are depositing the calcium, you will deposit in the bone matrix. So osteoblast, osteocyte cells are going to help them to get deposited. Similarly, when calcium is less in your blood, so osteoclast will resorb the bone, kind of dissolve the bone, dissolution of bone. I can say at microscopic level there is breakdown of the bone where we are releasing the calcium in the blood. So again calcium will be increased whenever you require it. So these cells are very important. In our chapter they have only mentioned the osteocyte cell. The other early cell is osteoblast, mature cell is osteocyte. And for the bone resorption activity, for the bone breakdown or remodeling it, removal of bone tissue, osteoclast activity will be there. So one is helping in depositing, one is helping in removal. So by that we are remodeling the bone, and that is called as the osteoclast cell. Okay, moving ahead. Now talking about bone, what is the function of the bone? Tell me first. What will be some of the functions of the bone? So first of all, weight bearing function. Weight bearing function, your body weight. For example, a lot of weight is going on the tibia bone. So weight bearing function, I will say. Another function I can say is hematopoiesis. Hematopoiesis. Yes, that is synthesis of the blood cells. Synthesis of the blood cell. Yeah, synthesis of the blood cells. So in your bone you have something called as bone marrow, especially the red bone marrow where stem cells are there, and stem cells are helping to make the RBC, WBC and platelets. You might have studied in the red bone marrow erythropoiesis occurs for RBC formation, leukopoiesis, WBC formation, thrombopoiesis, platelet formation. Combine all the three cell synthesis, hematopoiesis. Erythropoiesis, leukopoiesis, thrombopoiesis. Combined together it becomes hematopoiesis. So synthesis of blood cell via the stem cells which is present in the bone marrow, especially the red bone marrow. Then I will say another function, structural framework of your body. I will say structural framework of the body. Then protecting your softer organs. Protective function. Protection of what? Protection of softer organs, we will say. Protection of softer organs, your brain protected by the cranium, your vertebral column protecting your spinal cord, your rib cage protecting your lungs and heart. Yes, so protective in function. One more function of the bone, attachment for which muscles? Bone provides attachment for which muscles? Attachment for which muscle? Skeletal, smooth or cardiac muscles. Bone will also provide attachment for what? Attachment for the skeletal muscles. So I will say it provides attachment for the skeletal muscle as well. Correct, everyone? So these are some of the functions of bone in your body. Next, now talking about types of bone. So whenever you see any bone, bone is like a coconut. Bone is like a coconut, outside very hard, inside softer endosperm like soft tissue is there inside. So when we talk about bone, bone outer hard part becomes the compact bone. The outer harder part becomes compact bone. The inner softer part is called as the spongy bone. Called as which bone? Spongy bone or cancellous bone. It is called as also which bone? Cancellous bone. So if you notice any bone, let's say we take a bone here. Okay. So let us take a bone. So when I talk about any bone, the outer part is very dense. Outer part is very dense and middle part is soft. Yes. Outer part is very soft and inner part is very dense. Inner part is very dense. So let us take this bone. So bone outer part, when you see, like I have drawn a long bone, the shaft of this long bone will be called as the diaphysis. The shaft of the bone will be called as the diaphysis. The end plates, the endings will be called as what? The ending part will be called as the epiphysis. So whenever you study any long bone, the shaft will be called as the diaphysis. The ending part will be called as the epiphysis. And in this epiphysis, you might have heard there is epiphyseal plate for growth of the bone. For which of the bone? Growth of the bone. So there is some epiphyseal plate like structure here. Epiphyseal plate. Okay. And this epiphyseal plate helps in growth of the bone. So growth hormone acts on the epiphyseal plate. This plate is the epiphyseal plate. On this, growth hormone will act and your bone will elongate. So when we are in the teenage or before adulthood, growth hormone will act there on the epiphyseal plates and that will help in elongation of the bone. That is not the main concept here. Coming back to the main concept. Main concept is that the outer hard part, outer which part? This outer hard part, I am trying to tell you, it is the compact bone. So the outer hard part is the compact bone, whereas the inner part is very soft. The inner part is very soft here, this one. The inner part will be very soft, which you will call as what? Which you will call as the spongy bone or the cancellous bone. The inner part will be called as the spongy bone or the cancellous bone. And this spongy bone is present here also. At the epiphysis also, there is the spongy bone. On the epiphysis also, what is there? There is the spongy bone. So in middle part also there is a softer part, spongy bone. Outer harder part is called as compact bone. At the epiphysis region also, this much is epiphysis. Lower part end is also epiphysis. That is also spongy bone. So what is the difference here? See, the hard part will be the compact bone. Sir, why this is the hard part? It is the hard part because maximum inorganic salt deposition occurs in the compact bone. Spongy bone, you are not depositing that much amount of inorganic salt. You want it to be soft because there are stem cells. Those are helping in hematopoiesis. So spongy bone, you can study it in further two parts, red bone marrow and yellow bone marrow. Okay, red bone marrow has the stem cells which are doing which process? Which are doing the hematopoiesis process. Whereas yellow bone marrow, they are storing fats in them. What they are storing inside them? They are storing fats. So I will give you an idea. A young person has more amount of red bone marrow. So they have more stem cells. So their blood cell synthesis, everything is going nicely. As we age, as we become old, our red bone marrow decreases. It gradually becomes fatty. Red bone marrow starts depositing fats. Stem cell number declines. So if you compare your bone marrow with my bone marrow, you are younger than me, you are having more red bone marrow. I am having lesser red bone marrow, but more yellow bone marrow. But if I compare my body with a 60-year-old, 60-year-old will have more yellow bone marrow. I will be having better red bone marrow. But if I compare your body with a 5-year-old, 5-year-old might have more red bone marrow. Are you getting me, guys? So as we age, what I am saying is red bone marrow gets converted to yellow bone marrow. That is the aging process. That's why in the old people, if you see the RBC, WBC, that number goes little down as we age. Am I clear? Now, in your NCRT, in your old NCRT, they have shown some diagram. One diagram they have given of cartilage and another diagram they have given of bone. So in NCRT, the diagram given is of the compact bone. In NCRT, which diagram is given? Compact bone. So we are going to talk about the compact bone structure. Compact bone is made up of Haversian systems. What they are made up of? They are made up of Haversian system, which is also called as the osteon. It is also called as the osteon, and it is the structural and functional unit of bone. What it is? The structural and functional unit of compact bone. Of which bone we are saying? Of compact bone. Are we clear? So let us see the structure of compact bone. The diagram is given in your NCRT, so I will make it. So now what we are going to study is the structure of the compact bone. So compact bone, if you notice the structure, there are concentric ring-like structures. Like this, concentric ring-like structures are present. Are you getting me, guys? Yes or no? So in compact bone, if you notice, in compact bone, like this, concentric ring-like structures are there. Like in Telugu, you have a snack, muruku. Have you heard the muruku looking like this somewhat? Yes? So, like this, concentric ring-like structures are there. and that is making the Haversian system. So one single unit here, this one will be called as a Haversian system. So from here to here, this one will be your Haversian system. And Haversian system is nothing but also called as the ostion. It will be also called as what, guys? It will be also called as the ostion. Okay? Like this one unit. Okay? I can show it separately also. This one unit, what you see, this one is a Haversian system. Okay? So, who says this? Who makes this Haversian system? Tell me. Who makes the Haversian system? Haversian system is basically the matrix. Haversian system is the matrix. Who will make the Haversian system? Cells. Which are the cell responsible? Osteocyte. So actually, this Haversian system is made by which cells? Osteocyte. So what do the osteocyte do? Osteocyte, they keep on making layer after layers. First inner layer, outer layer, then further. So every layer becomes increasing. So after the first layer is the outermost, then second layer, third layer. They keep on making the layers. So who is responsible? Osteocyte. And then in this Haversian system, we are depositing calcium salts. We are depositing what? Calcium salt. And this Haversian system becomes very hard. So the matrix is of organic matter, ossin, made by osteocyte. There is collagen fiber. Then you add inorganic salt to it. It becomes very hard and tough. Can I let the cells directly inside them? Will I allow the osteocyte cell directly inside them? No. Like when you studied the cartilage structure, I told you, cartilage matrix is also solid. If the cells are directly placed in the matrix, the cells will get crushed. The cells will get crushed. This also matrix is very hardened by deposition of inorganic salts. So you need a small cavity. You need a small fluid-filled cavity in which your osteocyte will be living. That small fluid-filled cavity will be called as a lacunae. What it will be called as a lacunae. So what I am going to make is, I am going to make the lacunae. So this chinna small cavities, this chinna small cavities are called as the lacunae. What are the chinna cavities called here? The smaller cavities are called as the lacunae. Lacunae in Latin means hollow space. So lacuna is a singular, lacunae is plural. So lacunae are small fluid-filled cavities. And in this fluid-filled cavities, who is going to live there? There will be osteocytes. What will be there, guys? There will be osteocytes. There will be osteocytes. So this chinna cavity will be lacunae, and inside this lacunae, there will be cell osteocyte. So I have made this. So look here. This will be a lacunae. I am just showing a little bit bigger. This is a lacunae here. In this lacunae, your cell will be sitting inside. Who will be sitting inside? A chinna cell is sitting inside. So the outer cavity is the lacuna. Inside cell will be called as the osteocyte. Are we clear? So look at this here. So what I will do is, I will just make the osteocyte. Okay. So I have made the osteocyte. Looks like structure of atom diagram, but it is not. It is compact bone diagram. Am I clear? ठीक है? Now, Why the osteocyte are present in lacunae? Why these cells inside osteocyte are present in lacunae? Osteocyte is present in lacunae, say, so they don't get crushed in the hard matrix. That's why they are present. Now another problem. Bone is very, very hard, and bone requires blood supply, vessels, nerves. Where it will come from? Bone is very hard and dense. Where will the blood vessels come from? So in the center you can see a small canal is there. In the center you can see a small lumen-like structure. That structure in the center will be called as the Haversian canal. What we will call it as? We will call it as the Haversian canal. So in the center, if you notice, there is a canal called as Haversian canal, and Haversian canal carries the blood vessels and nerves and the limbs. Are we clear, everyone? So every Haversian system in the center will have the canal which is called as the Haversian canal. What it is called as? A Haversian canal. And Haversian canal will carry the blood vessels and the nerves. Are we clear, everyone? Are we clear? Guys, yes or no? Are you getting this, or it is going above your head? So this is Haversian system. Whose structure we are studying? Which structure we are studying? Tell me. Which bone structure we are studying? We are studying the compact bone structure of the mammalian bone. Of which bone? Of mammalian bone. Compact bone structure of the mammalian bone. Now one more problem. Now one more problem is there. First problem was there. Matrix is very hard. Cell can get crushed in the hard matrix. So we have given chinna small cavity. Everyone is having a small room. In that small room, calcium will not be deposited. The cells will sit inside nicely. Now another problem. The most outer ring osteocyte cell. The most outer ring osteocyte cell, they are demanding food. They are demanding nourishment. They want glucose, energy, amino acid. How they will get it? Because this matrix is very hard. Calcium salts are deposited. How they will get the nourishment? Nourishment cannot pass because bone is very hard and dense. So we need some small canal-like structures. We need small canal-like structures. So what is going to happen is every osteocyte cell will give like this processes. The osteocyte cells will make long cytoplasmic process like this. Do you see this? The osteocyte cell is there in the center. This is lacuna. This is lacuna here. This is lacuna. Inside there is osteocyte. Now osteocyte is giving out hair-like extensions, cytoplasmic extensions from both the side. So if I am osteocyte, from both the side, I am giving the cytoplasmic extensions, and this will be called as canaliculi. What it will be called as? Canaliculi. What it will be called as? Canaliculi. What it will be called as? Canaliculi. This canaliculi are interconnected with each other. So if I am an osteocyte cell, from the Haversian canal, I will take nourishment from my canaliculi. From my another canaliculi, I will transfer the nourishment to other cell. That other cell, from its canaliculi, it will transport the nourishment and everything to the other cell. So that's how they are going to pass on the nourishment from one cell to another cell. So like this, hair-like extensions are going to be present on every cell, and these are called as canaliculi. What these are called as? These are called as canaliculi. Are we clear with this? So that completes one Haversian system. That completes one Haversian system. So these extensions are nothing but canaliculi. That makes your one Haversian system or osteon, which is the structural and functional unit of compact bone. Clear, everyone? Are yes or no? Are we clear? And one more thing, one labeling is left. One labeling is left. Do you see these layers? Inner layer, outer layer. What are this layer called as? The layers of the concentric matrix are called as lamella. What they are called as? Lamella. Every single layer, layer number 1, layer number 2, like layer number 1 inside, layer number 2, layer number 3. What are these layers called as? These layers are called as lamella. In plural, you will say they are lamellae. What they are? Lamellae. NCERT has given this diagram. They have labeled some osteocyte cell also, but they are not telling what. Just they have written compact bone structure, that's it. So if you are lucky, they will just show you the diagram in the exam and ask what structure is this. You can mark compact bone. Are we clear with this? Next. Now, so if you imagine a Haversian system, see, I have shown you Haversian system top view. I have shown you the Haversian system top view. Yes, you can see concentric rings are here also in this one. If you see carefully, there are concentric rings inside also. So superficially it looks like a circle because you are taking a cross section. You have taken a long bone and you are taking cross section. So it is appearing circular. But actually the compact bone, Haversian system, they are tall column like. So Haversian system which we studied, from the top view, when you observe the top view, it looks like this. Top view looks like this, but in reality, it is like this. It is a tall column-like structure. Haversian system is like a tall column-like structure, huge column. Okay, that is your Haversian system. And in the center, what is passing? Tell me. In the center, what we said, what is passing in the center? What is this canal? That is your Haversian canal. So your Haversian system is a tall column-like structure, and in the center, which canal is passing? In center, the Haversian canal is passing. Now, one more extra point, PYQ. It's a PYQ. Two Haversian canals are interconnected by a horizontal canal. Two Haversian canals are interconnected by a horizontal canal that is called as a Volkmann's canal. Please notice. See, this is one Haversian system. Haversian system 1. Haversian system number 2. Haversian system 1. Haversian system number 2. Two Haversian system are there. Everyone is having their Haversian canal. HC is Haversian canal. This one is also HC, Haversian canal. The two Haversian canals are interconnected. Haversian canals are vertical canals, but different Haversian canals are interconnected via a horizontal canal, which will be called as the Volkmann's canal. The which canal? The Volkmann's canal. Again, this is a very important PYQ. It's a very important PYQ. So, two Haversian canals or different Haversian canals are interconnected by a horizontal canal called as the Volkmann's canal. This is also a very old PYQ, so you never know. If this year they want to ask some tough question, they may ask. Because as a student of NEET, you should be knowing this. Are we clear with this, everyone? Yes? Are yes or no? Now let us talk about spongy bone. Spongy bone, also called as cancellous bone. So it is made up of irregular lamellae structures. They are made up of what? Irregular lamellae structures. They are having a structure showing open lattice. What like structure? They have open lattice. Open lattice means there are gaps and holes. There are gaps and holes in the structure. There are gaps and holes in the structure. So if you notice here, look here, this diagram. Where is the diagram? Spongy bone diagram I showed you. Look here. So if I make another bone, let's make another bone here. So let us make another bone. This is another bone, okay? Okay? In the center we said there will be bone marrow. At the top also. Now these are epiphyses. Spongy bone you will find in the epiphysis area. Shaft what we called as? The shaft was called as the diaphysis. In the diaphysis I said there will be compact bone, see? Tall column like structure, compact bone will be there. So in the diaphysis there will be compact bone, tall column like structure. So this represents the compact bone. Now notice on the epiphysis. In the epiphyseal region, the lamella will be randomly arranged. The lamella will be what, guys? The lamella is going to be randomly arranged. Okay, like this, the lamella is going to be randomly arranged. Okay, so this becomes your spongy area. See, spongy means it has some hollow space. Sponge is hollow from inside, some hollow cavities are there. So here also spongy bone, these are lamellae structures, the matrix. But irregularly they are arranged. Inside them they will having collagen fibers, ossin protein matrix, and some stem cells are there inside. What is there inside? Stem cells, which are responsible, or I can say hematopoietic cells. Hematopoietic cells which are doing hematopoiesis. What they are doing, guys? They are doing hematopoiesis, that is synthesis of the blood cells. Are we clear, everyone? So that's why we say it is a cancellous bone. Cancellous in Latin means basically having open space or gaps. Why we need open space? Because if you make the spongy bone like compact, fully hard, where you will keep the stem cell? Stem cell will get crushed. Am I clear? So the shaft, the middle part of the long bones, that is diaphysis. In the end areas we have the spongy bone, cancellous bone, which is going to help you in hematopoiesis, formation of the blood cells, RBC, WBC and platelets. Am I clear? Sir, no teacher explain bone like that. So I don't know, are you saying a positive comment or are you saying that I am over teaching here? See, little bit understanding is required. So now everything will be clear. So that's all for your positive. Thank you. That is a positive comment. Okay. Yeah, but I hope everyone is understanding this. You are not getting bored. All the points are clear in your mind now. So here we complete the bone topic. So syllabus is complete. So I request you all, read NCERT lines carefully. Read the NCERT lines carefully, line by line, word by word. Am I clear? And especially use the old NCERT because tissue topic is given in old NCERT. Okay? Read everything. Read everything. The introduction paragraph is there, that also you read. Some summary is given, that also you read. Summary language you will also understand, that also read. If you are able to solve some exercise question, one-liner questions which are there, okay, that also you solve. If you get NCERT exemplar of this topic, that also you will solve. Some exemplar questions will be there. You can get the online exemplar questions. Am I clear? So that's it for the syllabus. All the best for your tomorrow's exam. And again, I will request you all that learning will be more beneficial, especially physics and chemistry. It will be more beneficial if you join the offline classes. Okay, at home you are at the comfortable position, but when you come in the offline, you see a good competition, healthy competition is going on, and teachers are, directly in contact with you. So whatever guidance and support is required, that will be much more better, what I feel from my perspective. But still, the decision is up to you. So that's all, guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye. See you after your exam. All the best. Bye, guys. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.